Hey, good morning, everybody. Whatever time of day it is when you're watching this. Good morning. How are you doing? Good afternoon, good evening. Woo! Got lots to talk about today. I will be doing a noon live today. We will be talking about Lionsgate and the new moon in Leo. I did a little reading for the new moon in Leo Wednesday. I believe it was Wednesday. And also, I did an individual zodiac reading for each sign for Lionsgate. Okay, so that's on the channel. And a little bumpy here, a little weird. So that's already done. So if you want to go check that out, they are Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. All right, let's see where we go. What is happening here? Message for August 6th. What's the message that wants to come through for those watching, please? August 6th. Okay. All right, here we go. That was a lot of shuffling. Sometimes it's a lot of shuffling. Look at Charlie. He's like, I want another peanut butter biscuit. Me too, Charlie. To the sea. Flexible. Change in the wind. Okay. We talk a lot about transformation on this channel, and transformation is more than just a little change. Transformation is like your best friend may not recognize you. Okay? There can be physical changes that go along with this. This is sort of like releasing and letting go, allowing yourself to travel on this energy of water. Water relates to your feelings, it relates to your intuition, it relates to your connection to everything in the world, in the universe. We are, after all, mostly water. So it is a very powerful image here of allowing yourself to be part of the flow of what's going on. And one of the things that keeps you in the 3D and not transforming, okay, because transforming is what we're doing right now in the collective is we're upending lots of belief systems. We're changing how we look at reality. We're changing how we experience reality. And there's more change coming. There's more change coming. So I feel like this is not an all hands on deck, but this is kind of like a, hey, we've got some things that are going to show up in linear time that are going to, you guys are going to need to be ready. And I'm going to invoke Carolyn Myss because I'm very much interested in her teaching right now, because what is happening is, in this moment in time, right, the reason we talk about mindfulness so much is that it makes you super present in this experience. And when you're in linear time, you view things as happening in the future and happening in the past. Standing in the moment, things can happen all at once. So I got a good question on the members live yesterday where someone said, you know, how come I watch tarot readings and even though they resonate with me, sometimes it doesn't occur? And I said to her that, number one, are you matching the frequency of the thing? Are you in that frequency? And also, things show up for you when you're ready. So even though it may seem like a situation that you're experiencing, the way you co-create with the universe is about being ready for the things, for the truths to show up, being ready. Because if I remember when I first was on my spiritual journey, when I first had my heart chakra awakening, and we talked yesterday on the Thursday live about telepathy and how this is all working in a energetic space. And when I first was on the path and of twin flame, and I understood that there was mission, I understood I had mission, I asked Mel, my dear friend who has passed away, I said to him, he's a twin flame, I said, how, you know, Why isn't it here right now? Tell me my whole mission. And I was very impatient. This was a few years ago. I was very impatient for it. And he said, you get the truth when you can handle the truth. Okay? You get the truth. The truth shows up for you in the moment of your readiness to accept it. So you have to be in that readiness space before the truth can show up. So while you're watching a tarot reading, you may be in that space of readiness for it to show up, but then you go back to a 3D life and you're back down in the energy of 3D, where you're not really experiencing, you're in this energy of resistance, you're in the energy of there's a past and there's a future, you're in that whole energy. And so that truth is like, okay, well, you're not ready, I guess. So that can happen. It can happen a lot. But at some point, you are ready. Even if you bounce back and forth, which we all do between the 3D and the 5D, even if you're in the flow and then you're, the two things that can help you most, mindfulness practice and meditation. And whenever I talk about that, I get so much resistance. People can't hear their voice. People can't hear, they don't know their intuition from their fear. All of these things are things to be working with right now. But then open up to the lesson, right? Here's the truth. The truth is being presented to you. Are you like, oh, I don't want my life to change like that? Or, oh, I'm not ready for me to move out of this relationship yet. Or, oh, I can't, move out of this job or career yet. Anything like that. If you're like, oh, then the truth is, then the guides are like, okay, maybe not ready right now. Maybe not ready right now. Okay. So there is a change coming. And the less you are anchored in your belief systems in the world, in the 3D world, the more the change can work on you. 9 of Wands, Judgment, Magician, okay? Ace of Swords and Page of Swords. Remember, I'm just talking about truth. The universe is trying to bring in some truths here. 9 of Wands, Judgment. So it comes on the messages you are receiving are coming through your most feared patterns of repeating. Your most, the things that trigger you. These are the times when the messages are trying to get through. Okay? And so immediately when things trigger you, up goes the wall. And so the truth doesn't fully come through. But pay attention to what happens if you can just sit with it for a minute, because how you're co-creating with all of us, right? We are all connected. How you're co-creating with all of us is that it's in your response to the thing that shows up. Therein lies your power. How are you responding to it? So, the things that trigger you about your safety, about your security, about your survival, things like that, those that trigger you, those are breadcrumbs. Those are teaching you. Those are messages about what needs to be worked on. And they are working in your subconscious as belief systems that hold up the shield of, I don't want to know anymore because I can't even handle this. Okay? But the truth is really trying to come in. So let's see where we go here. With the truth is really trying to come in and shift your perspective and elevate you in the levels of consciousness. Your consciousness will only allow in that which it believes to be the truth. And if you are believing, if you're like, okay, I've metabolized the truths I've seen so far, I'm ready for something new, then also be ready for things to radically change in your life. I just saw the devil energy, right? There he is again. Then be ready for that. I mean, that's part of the situation, part of the issue, that we don't want unpleasant feelings or unpleasant change. And so that is a reason why people put their shields up, okay? Right? Tower. And like my mom said, when my mom was passing away, she passed away at 88. And they always, she died of natural causes, obviously. She wasn't really ill. She had 10,000 paper cuts, kind of a thing, lots of little things. And the body just gave out, right? And she said to me when she was 86, she said, I've passed some kind of plane. I've passed some kind of, she didn't use the word Rubicon, but now I see that's what she meant. She passed some kind of marker in her life where she had completed the lessons. I would have preferred her to stick around, but she was 86 and I still need her today. And that was almost 20 years ago that she passed away. And she's still around, happily in my dreams. But she passed some kind of milestone and she said, they come for you. And you can say no. But one time they come for you and you can't say no. And that's going to happen someday. And she had been saying no for a while. And so the same thing goes with lessons. We can say no, but at some point we can't say no. Okay, at some point we can't. Knight of Cups, Seven of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, Chariot, lots of movement in this reading. And then there's the stagnation of Seven Wands, Four Cups. This is in this time right now. Eight of Pentacles. Okay, I see. Ace of Cups, Ten of Cups. Wow. Knight of Wands. Okay, 3 knights here plus the Chariot. All of this horsey kind of experience. All of this horsey kind of experience. There you go. Now, what this says to me is the universe is trying to break through. I feel like love is trying to come in, a connection is trying to come in, the being on the path to love and yet wanting it to be a certain way, like release your ideas around what it needs to look like, because I feel that's resistance. And I've been saying that for a couple of years now. There's resistance to what shows up. And I feel like there's a mind construct about what the experience is going to be. And I don't feel like it's going to match your belief system. So what needs to happen, even though it is Ace of Cups to the Ten of Cups, even though it doesn't start out that way. I think a lot of us have experienced that, right? It doesn't start out that way. What's required is effort. Knight of Pentacles and Eight of Pentacles is a lot of effort. Okay? It's the putting in the time, putting in the energy. There is something here about if this relationship has already shown up in your life and there was this desire to move forward quickly, I feel like what happens is too much thinking. Okay, too much resistance, too much, no, I'm not going to do this. I want it to look this way. I want it to look a certain way. And I want you not to be that way. I want you to be different than what I think you are. I think this person's my soulmate and they're really a karmic energy here to teach me a lesson and then disappear. Whatever it is, I feel like it's like no matter what shows up for you, if you can stand in the moment of perspective. So we talked yesterday about being on the ground floor and not really being able to see, right? You're on the floor in New York City, you're on the first floor, and you just see what's in front of you. This is a very 3D kind of living where you see the garbage on the street, you see the taxi cabs, you hear the noise, you hear people, crowds, whatever. There's buildings everywhere, right? But as you raise your consciousness, you get higher into the sky. So up into the penthouse, you can see. You don't hear the noise, right? It's become quiet. That's when the mystical truths can come in. If you're watching a tarot reading or you're doing your own work and you're like, that's never going to happen. I don't know. I want it to look a certain way. Why can't this person be who I want them to be? If you're in that energy, I feel like what's coming is Tower. Okay? I feel like trying to control it too much is Tower. I feel like staying in the 3D too much is Tower. And I feel like this Knight of Pentacles and Eight of Pentacles, we're moving from the cups, this Cancerian energy, Cancer, Sag, Virgo. All right, I'm seeing that. I'm seeing Aries too. We're moving from this energy of 3D and learning how to balance what I'm talking about, learning how to balance in the place of the unknown unknown. I don't know what I don't know. and I have a lot of subconscious things that are running my life that I'm not really seeing are running my life because I'm not paying attention to them. I'm resisting them. Okay, clarify the Knight of Pentacles for me. Six of Swords, High Priestess, beautiful. Okay, so in the Leo new moon, in the energy of Lionsgate, ta-da, okay, Leo showing up here. You're moving toward an energetic experience. You're moving toward your intuition. How do I tell my intuition from fear? Here you go. I get that question all the time. You have a lot of voices going on inside you. You have your thinking brain, you have your fear, survival, you have all of these, and you have your intuition. You have there's different levels of intuition. There is survival intuition, right? But what we're talking about is getting information from your guides, from your high self, from that piece of you, okay? And how you know the voice of fear is shrill, is critical of you, is you're not good enough. That's also the voice of ego, okay? It's loud, so it can drown out the voice of your true intuition, your high self. How you know what's your high self, how you differentiate it is, it's quieter. It is the voice of love. It is supportive. It is just this beautiful voice. There's no sharp edges to it. And it's not shrill. You're like, what do I do about this? How about you go that way? You can do this. Why don't you think about this for a minute? This might not be the best way to go for you because, no, there's no negatives in your intuition. How about this? It's always said as a positive. So give that a shot. And when you listen to that, then it gets louder. Have you ever heard the phrase that there's a story about the wolf and the dog, and the wolf is the harsh critic. The dog is the intuition, the loving dog inside you. There's two inside you fighting for supremacy. Which one wins? The one you feed. That's the one that wins. So if you're constantly feeding your survival mechanism, if you're constantly in that energy, that's what you're going to get back. Stuff that says, you're doing it wrong. Why can't you ever figure this stuff out? What is wrong with you? I don't even want to talk about it anymore. That's what you're going to get back. But when you do the work, the recognizing, the triggering, all right, what's triggering me? Why is this triggering me? When you do journaling, when you do automatic writing, when you do meditation, when you get in tune enough to hear the quiet, loving voice, amplify that. That's the way out of this. That's the way to transformation. So the way out of where you are right now may be, you might be thinking, oh, well, that's even scarier over there because I don't know what's going to happen after that. Do the work of amplifying that inner voice of love and kindness and generosity. You can do this. My purpose on this planet, one of them, when I went to Mel and we talked about this and the things that have shown up for me since with other teachers and healers and guides and my own meditation, my own automatic writing, my own channeling, is that I'm treading a path of allowing for major transformation. And whenever I resist what's coming, tower. Okay? And it's time to do that. It's time to do the work and not listen to those critical voices. Knight of Swords, Eight of Swords, Temperance, Page of Wands. it's very much about being inspired. It's very much about listening to your guides, not the nattering nabobs of negativism. There's a mouthful for you. And instead, you might move beyond a structure that you're used to. People get comfortable in all kinds of situations, and they stay there because they don't know what's on the other side. The universe is trying to bring something in for you, and it's change. And think about it this way. When you're in that energy of listening to the quiet voice, truths come in. Mystical truths come in that change the game. You can no longer go back. So I forget which astronaut this was, but up in the capsule, looking back at Earth and seeing it as this beautiful globe, there's no divisions between countries, it's just this blue and green sphere, this beautiful energy of us all connected. They never could look at the world the same way when they came back to Earth. They knew a truth. They knew a truth about us. And that's something that changed that person's life. And he went on to change other people's life in his own teaching. So the call here is the call of feelings. When you feel your feelings, when you get triggered by something, when you have unpleasant feelings, that's information. That's information. And that's how to move forward. Knight of Wands. That's information. So I feel like this is talking a little bit about mystical and intuitive kind of movement forward. I also feel like there is a reorienting of people to understand their mission and path, to reawaken your connection to your guides, and to listen to that information. I am going to be doing a North Node class, working with your North Node. What is your mission and path on this life? Going to be doing that. I'm also going to be doing a Chiron class. Same thing, working with your wounded healer. Your wounded healer shows you the wounds from childhood that are unconsciously driving your experience when things derail. It's about getting conscious about how you're behaving and leveling up to the next level of consciousness for yourself. That's what my job is here right now. Help you see yourself. Help you see your own power in the co-creative energy that we're in. So this has to do also with love and the position and the power of love within your life. This can be about twin flame. This can be about high-level soulmate energy that can only be called in once you're in that frequency, okay? And by learning some truth, that's how you step into your power. That's the next thing. There's a truth that needs to be learned. So let's explore that, okay? All right, if you're part of Pathfinders, the rest of the reading is going to continue. If you are not part of Pathfinders, there's a link below if you want to continue on. I'll see you over there.